Hi, welcome back to my podcast. This is Cosmic Insight Astrology. My name is Christina. All right, today we're going to analyze the Aries full moon, which going to happen October 9th, 2022, 4:54 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So I read the chart in Miami because I live close by. If you don't live close by Miami in Florida, then actually ignore the host system. You can always go and erect your own chart wherever you are located. Okay, guys, so let's talk about this full moon in Aries. It's going to happen actually 16 degrees 33 minutes. So that's the second decan. So that's actually a Leo decan because of, yes, so that is the second fire sign away from Aries. So when we are talking about that, we're going to implement some Leoian uh, aspects as well, uh, and philosophy as well, archetype, actually the Leo archetype as well. But first of all, we're going to talk about the Aries archetype and what does it represent. You know, Aries is a cardinal sign and it's a fire sign. Fire sign are really active, adventurous, spirited, assertive, and they are the original leaders. The whole entire zodiac starts with Aries. That is the first astrological sign of the zodiac. And, we have two kind of age counting, and which one of them is Aries, is 0 to 7 years, right? Because it's going with the Uranian arc or the pro-lunar arc, or the other one is the infant stage, which is like 0 to 1 year, which is representing our infant life. It is the beginning. It is the spring when the life starts, when the life starts to bloom. It is the bud in our life. And so, yes, so it is a fire sign. It's also a cardinal sign, which, the cardinal sign usually are brave and willing to take actions, initiators, impulsive, and action oriented. And it rules the first house, the house of life. So actually, Aries are dynamic and really motivated and squeeze as much juice out from the lemon as it can. Very fiery, impulsive, as I said. And Aries is ruled by Mars. And the planet of Mars actually is indicating in our life, for example, aggression, and it's representing our desires or energy level, the physical energy. And it's also, the courage. And Mars is the planet of warrior. Mars is a hot and dry planet, so it's representing heat in our life, and it's definitely the warrior planet. But in Vedic astrology, Mars is very, very malefic, and it is not only the war, but it is evil as well. And we're going to analyze that together, and we're going to talk about that, what kind of aspect this full moon going to make. So a full moon is when the moon and the sun is opposed to each other. So this is the polarity of the signs. If the moon is in Aries, then the sun has to be in Libra and exactly on the same degree. So it's gonna be 16-degree Leo decan. So, this full moon ruled by Mars, and Mars actually is, if we're checking the essential dignity of Mars, it's exalted 27 Capricorn, which I have, so it's very strong there. And it's detriment in Libra, so in the opposite sign, and it's fall in Cancer. So actually the moon rules Cancer. So let's talk about this situation over here. And, you also have to know, like the moon is changing sign every 28 days, and Mars, which rules that full moon, it goes around the zodiac cycle around 687 days. And it is going to retrograde every 2.5 years around about. So right now, Mars, which is ruling this full moon, is already in shadow period, shadow retrograde period in Gemini. It spends time usually like 6 weeks in a sign, but in Gemini right now, it's going to spend 7 months. And from these 7 months, it's going to retrograde from October 30th till January 16th. But of course, the shadow is like September 4th till March 12th, 2023. So we're going to feel this when the warrior is going to retrograde. So in Gemini, Mars is extremely restless. It's brainstorming, it's constantly thinking, it makes impulsive decision or impulsive communication without thinking, because of Gemini represent communication, but Gemini also represent vehicles, and it's representing, for example, cars and speeding. So we all will have to look out how impulsive we are. Everybody going to be more angry. There it's gonna be a lot of verbal conflict on social media, and the way we are exchanging information going to be perhaps offensive, really, really offensive. Okay, so yes, here is the full moon. That is when the sun and the moon oppose to each other in heaven. Look at this full moon. This full moon, it's not only Mars ruled, but it is actually conjunct with Chiron. Chiron is the wounded warrior, the wounded healer. So there is something what we need to heal during this full moon collectively. And the moon representing our dogs, and it's representing the people itself. So this full moon represents the people are hurt and the people are ready to heal, ready to get healed. And look at the other. So it's opposing the sun, and it's also opposing Venus. And Venus is, it's rules Libra and Taurus. So Taurus rules the earth sign and fixed sign, and really grounded, and everything about the nature and possession and your income over there. And in Libra, actually, it's cardinal sign and air sign, and everything about love. So right now, this Venus is talking about love, and it's conjuncting with Sun. So what does it mean? When any planet combust with the sun, conjunct with the sun, inner planets, they are not seen. Their power are not, I'm not saying it's not valid, but not powerful. So the love, what it's representing Libra in partnership, it's blinded by the sun. And sun is male and hot and dry, also just like Mars, right? But it's a male energy over here, very, very strong. And actually, it's blinding Venus, blinding the love, and it's opposing the full moon. The full moon itself, it's elimination, it's ending, it's completion in our life. So most of the time we need to say goodbye to something when the full moon is coming into our life, but not serving us anymore. Or sometimes we need to say goodbye to something but we still truly love, but there is a growth from it. So in this situation, we will have, because the moon is our emotion, the sun is our vitality, it's opposing each other's, and love also, and it's Mars related and Chiron over here. So we are wounded or feelings or emotion are in conflict. And then, the love itself, it's in struggle. So we don't feel self-love, perhaps, or we are not that connected with others, and we perhaps we don't know how to love each other or love on each others. It will be difficult. And why? Because of the moon is ruled by Mars. And even if this moon is sextile and there is an opportunity with a challenge, of course, but there is an opportunity with Mars, which is like, all right, so I already going to initiate something what I need to eliminate from my life. And, even it could mean like I need to eliminate a partnership, a business partnership, or my significant other because it does not serve me anymore. I'm going to have the power to apply for divorce, to get rid of that business partner, to end the friendship, even if it's going to hurt me, because Chiron is hurt, right? I still love the other person, but it does not serve me. I got abused, I got hurt over and over again. And it's a long, outdated relationship. And right now, I will have actually the energy, I will be capable to initiate the change or start at least to talk about or differences. It doesn't have to end with divorce and ending, but at least because of Mars is in Gemini and its communication, at least I'm going to start and initiate like the communication between us, what will have to change. It's an ultimatum to a partner or business partner, or it could be justice system. It could be like, all right, I'm wounded because I lost someone, and I'm gonna go to court and find justice actually, because of I'm gonna fight for a loved one over here. But definitely sun doesn't happen, it's combust Venus, because of the love not necessarily felt. So maybe the child who I fight for, or the love who I fight for, it's far away and doesn't really like truly feel the love, but and the appreciation that I have for them because of its distance somehow. All right, let's talk about what else this full moon going to, what other aspect gonna make. So I'm gonna talk about a little bit of asteroids, because Pallas Athene is in 14 degrees Cancer. So here it is. Pallas is somewhere here in Cancer, 14 degrees. And with this full moon, it's going to square, and with Chiron. And Cancer is nurturing. Cancer is our homeland or living situation or real estate homes, and also it's our grave and ending. So square, the goddess of war, wisdom, and victory, it could be really challenging. So what kind of field could be challenging? It could be like, maybe you are living in a place where your country is going to be in war, for example, or going to initiate war. Or maybe you are in war with your own family, or you're gonna start a war with your own family, some kind of conflict over there. Or you have to go in war because of your real estate, somebody wants to take it over, or like that kind of situation. So, but also it's wisdom. So because of the moon is really emotional, and in Aries it's really impulsive and angry and crying and hysterical. And Aries are the toddler we were talking about, the infant needs a lot of attention, drawing a lot of tantrum. So with that Pallas Athene, with this wisdom in Cancer, it could be like, actually you are a mother and you will need to redirect your infant or toddler because of they are literally having tantrums, and you need to go to some kind of family counselor who are wise as psychologists, the therapist, who is helping you with the children tantrums. So it could indicate that one as well. But I said it could indicate a lot of other things, to going to war for your family, for your ancestors, to fight for something, but wisely, but fight for something, standing up for something, what is living situation related or family related. What other aspect is it gonna make? So, Aries over here, it's a fire sign, and actually we're going to have 16 degrees Sappho, and Sappho is an asteroid of a brilliant mind. Sappho is actually education, and it's also art and poetry and lyrics and everything about like singing, and it's in Leo. So Leo is the asteroid of the number is 80. So it is something with stage, something with poetry, and it's training with your full moon. So with this full moon, with this Aries full moon, which is and its exact trine, which is a conversation between Sappho and the full moon, which is absolutely without any challenges. It is granted. It is a beautiful conversation between this asteroid and the moon. So what is this? It's emotional, it's impulsive. I want to show myself. I want to be on stage. So some of you going to be very inspirational. Some of you going to become a motivational speaker or talk fully with emotions and going to make other people cry with poetry, writing some kind of poems, beautiful poems. And it is also healing of the heart, healing of the mind and the intellect as well. So that aspect is actually brilliant and truly beautiful. But we also going to have other aspect, and it's going to be this full moon is sextiling with Saturn. So Saturn is 18 degrees here in Aqua. And like it's not exact, but it is sextiling. Saturn is endurance, it's stability, but also it's restriction, limitation, and death as well. But it's a sextile, so there is an opportunity in this sextile. But so Saturn and Moon hard aspects are very, very difficult. In this case, I would say, like, we are actually getting back our power. We're not gonna get tired from fighting. So before, you might have think like, oh, I have enough from fighting. I don't want to go to demonstrate. I don't want to go to protest anymore. I have enough. But right now we are willing to go again. We are going to be advocate for our beliefs, and this full moon going to support that. Saturn in Aquarius could be something with social media, and perhaps before it was some kind of censorship, but right now we're going to have information which is going to give us closure. Why? Because the full moon is closure. And Saturn in Aquarius, it could be social media, and actually it's going to uh, help us to get the right information, which is giving us closure. Saturn also something with government as well. So it could be like more likely we're going to follow people who are very humanitarian or who are serving actually the public. Moon is the public. So we're going to follow also on social media people who are there and there to talk for the public. And also don't forget, it is 6 degrees away, 22 degrees Mars. So it could be violent, but it's a sextile with the moon. So what I was talking before. And we do have also other asteroids, and that is going to be actually Amor and Cupido in Libra, actually 14 degrees. So Amor and Cupido is between Venus and Sun over here. So those are asteroids, and both of them is representing romantic love and platonic love, but also very sexual, sensual, but it's opposing the Aries moon. So it's representing like romance not going to be in the center of attention right now. Maybe the full moon in Aries is going to be more sexual and really physical and more animalistic love, what people going to crave for because of the anger. They're not going to crave for romance, for example. And I didn't mention about that, about Sappho, but Sappho actually is the planet of lesbianity, the same sex, but female same sex, and it's in Leo. It's trining with the moon, so it's going to be something about lesbian relationship in center of attention. So we're going to get a new law about that, or like just watch the news, because we're analyzing this chart together and trying to understand what it's gonna bring for us. Okay, guys, what else can I see over? You know what? Let's talk about a little bit the Martian energy, because it is like, yes, it is like ending, right? What we were talking about. And what is that? The Mars, the moon, the full moon is ending. And because it's ruled by Mars, let's talk about, for example, what kind of drinks can you have during this full moon. So I always tell you, use the Aries or the Mars, whatever rules the full moon or new moon or the aspect we are talking about, rule the remedies for that. So for example, Mars is in numerology, it's the number of nine. And the number of nine, it's always completion also, it's ending. And actually it's includes all the previous number before. And the ending, the full moon is ending itself as well. So if you have in your natal planet, and in your natal chart a weak Mars, you can actually have any kind of red stone during this full moon, which could be red coral, because red coral is nullify the malefic effect of the Mars. And full moon is ending. It could also indicate some kind of car accidents we were talking about, or fight. So try to have some kind of red coral or red calcite, so something, or ruby, any red jasper, some kind of red stone, because it's going to help you to nullify the malefic effect of Mars. So Mars in tarot card is the Tower, okay? And that is abrupt change and war. So we really have to be careful around this full moon, because it could indicate terror attack. It could indicate some kind of, some kind of major accidents, maybe even train accidents or something like that around the world, and especially because of Mars is in 22 degrees. But during this full moon ceremony, if you would like to, you can sage your house, have some red stone on you when you are doing that. You can use Salopanto, of course, and I'm going to show you how to make a spray if you are allergic to the smoke from this sage and Salopanto. And then you can also drink and use Mars-related plants, and Mars-related plants are cayenne pepper, anything which is hot. So for example, jalapeno, also nettle tea. And nettle tea is really good for washing and cleaning your blood. And because of Mars, also your bloodstream, it could be really good to, and because of full moon is elimination, detoxification. So it could be really good to use nettle tea to eliminate and help your blood system and your blood itself. So you can also use hawthorn, and that is, I love it because it's good for palpitation, anxiety, and because Mars in Gemini is restless, you could be restless and not sleeping, and you can have some kind of panic attack. So hawthorn is actually a berry, a beautiful red berry, which is helping you with heart palpitation and helping you with anxiety as well. So you might want to use that. So the Martian plants and herbs also like ginger and ginseng and peppercorn, like dragon's blood as well, and cardamom. So everything which is really spicy, you can use right now. All right, what else I wanted to say? Yes, and make a tea, drink it, sage your house, and you can also make a fire cider, for example. And why? Because of the moon rules Cancer. Cancer rules chest. Aries is inflammation. Mars is also inflammation, and Gemini is your throat, or it is also respiratory issues, just like Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. So if you put those together, there could be a new virus, or maybe the pandemic going to get escalated again, but maybe just the flu season going to start, some kind of respiratory illness most likely could happen. And fire cider, and I'm going to also teach you online, and I'm gonna invite you with my in my witch kitchen, and we're going to make fire cider together. But you can use fire cider one shot, or actually prevent one shot, but usually 3 shots a day when you are ill, and I'm going to teach you how to make it. All right, guys, that's what I wanted to say. And I guess I talked about everything. Yeah, I did. Okay, so if you like my podcast, please don't hesitate to like it or make some comments, because then YouTube going to recognize me, and then I can teach you and I can shed some light over here. All right, guys, thank you so much for your attention, and see you soon. Check out my website, which is www.urbanwitch.org, and under policies and information, you find my contact information. Thank you. Bye.